Ooh. All right, BMW 760i with a 4.4 liter turbocharged V8 that makes 536 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. Now I've put it in sport. I put all the settings on sport, the most aggressive setting I can get. I will hold this boost button down so I have 10 seconds of jam. I will put this thing in S. Oh my God, this front is lifting and go. Oh my God. Oh, you. What? 3.56? What? Come on! This whale does 0 to 60 in 3.56. This thing shifts, rips through the shifts. Does not feel like a 7 Series. So here we have the BMW 760i, a video that nobody's going to watch. So if you are a viewer, please go ahead and comment below what number viewer you are. I will go ahead and take the liberty of being number 1. Because this BMW 760 with a starting price of who knows, but an ending price of $174,000 is in front of me today. The front is not the prettiest thing. The color is amazing, but together they actually don't go hand in hand. But who cares? The person buying this thing is never going to actually drive it. They want to be driven around. But then they're going to think about, hey, maybe I'll just hire somebody. Which kind of plays to the fact of what we live in today. It's a world of image. So really, the people buying this are companies that drive people around. It's got these cool crystal-like headlights that are really skinny. It kind of reminds me of an X7 with its legs cut off. It's got a big kidney grille in all piano black, a front camera, the BMW logo, and a pretty aggressive lower styling. But it's this look right here that's pretty underwhelming. The side is very 7 Series, very flowy, and almost the same as the i5 that we had brought to our studio by BMW that's still sitting in our hard drive that we can't post yet because in Canada the car's not out officially. On the side though, this paint really shines, or if I should say, really dulls things around, but it's pretty, especially these door handles that are super flush with an insert to unlock it or get inside, like this. Of course it has soft closed doors. This is an expensive car. Of course it has 360 camera. And of course, because this is an M style car, you get M Sport brake, M Sport wheels, no M Sport logo on the side, but you get all black. Now the back is where it brings me back to engagement, to life, to focus. It looks good. The back is the best looking part of the car for me. I like how these taillights are unique. They of course are backlit like all the new BMWs, but it flows well together. And then you have these massive rear exhausts that are legit. They're not fakies. This is a 760 after all. There's a button here that when I push it, it opens up. Look at that. That's what you get when you spend $175,000. Now before I jump into the back, I want to show you how the 7 is emphasized here for the 7 Series and then the 60i model type. Now on the new i5, it has the 5 embedded on the plastic panel in the C-pillar, but on this 7 Series, it does not do that. Now jumping into the back seat here, of course this is 7 Series, this is as baller as it gets. So of course from the XM you get the pillows, you get this amazing brown interior that's obviously in this specific model. You have the wireless charger here, you have the coolest display on the actual armrest here that allows you to do so many things like adjust your climate control, open and close all the shutters in the vehicle, of course the sunroof, the rear behind me, and then of course my side left and right mirrors. And then I can do other cool stuff like swipe up to unlock. I can adjust my volume controls. I can do things like adjusting your seats, and then of course the lighting in the car. Pretty cool BMW. In the front seat of the BMW, and it's very crystallized. They've used crystal right here to adjust your seats, which is Mercedes-Benz, by the way. And then there's a lot of crystal on this little panel that has the coolest light show I've seen, especially when you put it in sport. Then you have crystal on this iDrive feature right here, and then start and stop, and then even shifting gears. Very Porsche. A lot of crystal. And then you have sporty stuff, like this carbon fiber on the dash, carbon fiber on the sides, and then the bolstering in the seats, which are completely adjustable, including massage. And then when you think about passion and sportiness, I have this steering wheel that's not round. It's sort of an egg-shaped with a flat bottom steering wheel. And that thrilling M logo right there with this industrial piece on the bottom. And just like the i5, if you want to control your venting, it is done this way. These little buttons from 0 to 1 with 5 different increments in them is to allow the airflow into your face to be adjusted. If you want to control how the air flows, that is done by this little knobby underneath here that you can pivot left and right, just like a normal vent does, except you're not doing it on the physical vent, you're doing it underneath that. You do have wireless charger there and 2 vents that you can slide backwards and forwards. Now BMW has 7 specific drive modes: personal, sport, efficient, expressive, relax, and digital art. Now digital art is a presentation by Chinese multimedia artist Cao Fei, because BMW expects 70% of all 7 Series to be sold in China. And that is why it's not so important for North America to care about the 7 Series, because their market is actually not here. This is their flagship or halo car for luxury, and that's where it stands, and that's about it. Now there are features in the 7 Series this specific 7 Series does not have, like a rear theater package. It does really well on short form content because of course it's pretty cool to have a massive screen in the back. It's 31.3 inches with an 8K resolution, which is amazing. Also on the inside you can get a cashmere wool interior. This one doesn't have it, but it's available. So BMW will offer you anything you want. You just gotta have deep pockets to pay for it. So let's take a look at all the different colors available when you pick drive modes in this BMW. We'll start off with personal. This is what you see. Then next up, if I do want to change the drive modes, I simply have to just either hit switch mode, voila, it comes up. And then this is sport, which is the coolest one, I think. This is what happens, and you'll see this flow of blue flow through, letting you know that you drive a BMW with some M DNA in it. Then next up you have efficient, which adjusts the seating position like sport does, and again it flows right through. I can hit switch mode, or I can hit my modes right here on the iDrive. Next up is expressive, and then you have relax, so the expressive pulses. Next up you have relax, and when I hit the button, my seat lumbar changes, and then you have the blockers on the left side and right side, as well as the rear sunshade come up. And last but not least is digital art. This is where the audio track comes into play.
My connection with BMW started with the creation of the 18 BMW.
But now I've driven this thing for about, let's call it 4 days straight now. Nobody really buys cars, and nobody's buying these big boaty cars, but they've managed to make it as sporty as possible to keep all the luxury pieces that are important to people. So they've like done a million things. Of course, they have data on what they sell. They kind of think about who's gonna buy this car, and they don't want to make it too limo based, even though it is long. But inside here, it feels super sporty, and with this rear wheel steering, man, this thing handles so well. It's a boat, for sure. If I'm in anything but sport, it's a boat. And even in sport, it's boaty. And I do feel that it's big wallows. Like this sounds good. Like, it shifts so fast. The brakes are good. You do feel there's weight behind it when you turn, when you're on the brakes, but it still handles so good for how big and vicious this thing is. Like, it's like, I just love this rear wheel steering. This turning radius is amazing. All right, perfect. Just love it. Put the ground. Oh, here we come. Here we come. Big boat coming through. Check this out. Every single person, I don't care who you are, if you drive an aggressively fast car, you always have suspension on comfortable. Every time. On daily use. Nobody is buying any performance car and driving that thing in the hardest suspension setting possible. Never. They'll have the engine sounding as aggressive as possible. They'll have the brakes working as aggressive as possible. They'll have everything in the car as aggressive as possible, except for the suspension. Now, truth be told, I wanted to get this car so I get the big TV in the back, but I guess the hype game is already passed because people posted the big TV like 4 months ago on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, so hey, I guess we'd be too late if we did it. So at least I get to experience how this thing handles, how the interior feels, the fit and finish, the touch, the looks that I get from people thinking, wow, that's a really beautiful car. I do think the front end is really weird, to be honest, and the back is my style, and the side is executive looking. It's like that front corner just is really weird in this color. It's like sick color, doesn't really match the car, but whatever, my opinion. Other than that though, this thing is pretty sick. So all in all, I am grateful for BMW Canada for loaning me this BMW 760i. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the front end, that corner is really, really weird to me. The back end is more like my style. The side is executive. I like it, thumbs up. So yeah, let me know if you guys would spend $175,000 Canadian on this bad boy, all 7 of you watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed, hopefully the 8th person watching the video will. We'll catch you on the next one.